Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira.
I'm Sheara. First, it's a look at the day's headlines.
Fertilizer subsidy of 25,000 rupees from Monday. US President extends his congratulations to the new government, assurance of any assistance for the economy of the country. New government assures of balanced diplomatic relations with all countries. 2 more days for postal voter applications. School transport charges yet to be reduced despite the reduced fuel prices. 8 years imprisonment for an attorney at law for preparing a fraudulent land permit. Ukraine attacks the largest oil terminal in Russia-occupied Crimean Peninsula.
On to those and other stories in detail, starting off with local news. Cabinet spokesman Minister Vijitha Herath says that the 25,000 rupee fertilizer subsidy for paddy farmers will come to effect from Monday.
Now, he made these remarks during the cabinet media briefing today. Fulfilling the promise made by the National People's Power at the presidential election, President Anurukumara Dissanayake took steps to increase the fertilizer subsidy from 15,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees. This program will begin on Monday from Ampara district and will be implemented in other provinces subsequently. Cabinet spokesman Minister Vijitha Herath said that 2 billion rupees have been allocated from the ministry in this regard. He said that the balance amount will also be provided in the near future. He further said that preliminary measures are underway to provide the fuel subsidy for registered fishermen through a fair mechanism. Steps have been taken to continue the school lunch program. Cabinet spokesman Minister Vijitha Herath said that no decision has been taken to suspend the school lunch program. He said that this program will continue without any hindrance. He added that necessary funds in this regard have been allocated. Government has taken steps to immediately resolve the issue pertaining to the scholarship examination. Evaluation of the answer scripts was suspended for 2 weeks, and the government has indicated that the decision whether to provide full marks for the leaked questions or to conduct the examination again will be reached following the inquiry. Minister Vijitha Herath said that maintaining balanced diplomatic relations with all countries is the policy of the new government. He said that engaging with India as well as China is the policy of the government. These 2 countries have intervened in the economic and social issues of the nation. These countries are in the process of providing assistance for many development projects of the government. Cabinet spokesman Minister Vijitha Herath said that a Chinese military training vessel is expected to arrive in the country in a few days. He said that approval has been granted in this regard. He said that this visit is not a threat to the security of the country. He said that even the US, Indian and German military training ships have arrived in the country in previous occasions. He said that the government expects to maintain balanced diplomatic relations with all countries. The cabinet spokesman has mentioned that positive outcomes were reached during the recent official visit of the Indian External Affairs Minister to Sri Lanka. The official visit led to the further strengthening of the bilateral relations between India and Sri Lanka. The minister said that further discussions were held over the North Fisheries issue as well as debt restructuring. Cabinet spokesman Minister Vijitha Herath said that the Finance Ministry has a need to reach a final agreement over the international sovereign bonds. Accordingly, he said that the sovereign bond holders requested the country to reach a common agreement with bilateral creditors in order to follow a proportional methodology over the debt relief. He said that many bilateral creditors have agreed to support and reach an agreement in this regard. He added that the External Affairs Minister of India provided the final consent during his visit, which is a massive victory for the country. Accordingly, he added that a final agreement over the international sovereign bonds was reached with his consent. The government has indicated that the fuel prices are yet to be affected despite the conflicts in the Middle East. Minister Vijitha Herat said that the imported fuel is being distributed at present and will reconsider the fuel prices in the country if the crude oil prices increase. Cabinet spokesman Minister Vijitha Herat said that the government is issuing fuel which was brought in previous occasions. He said the fuel prices will be revised in accordance to the crude oil prices, which will be determined by the conflict in the region. Meanwhile, responding to a query raised by a journalist over VIP security, police media spokesman DIG Nihal Talduwa said that the security allocated for the opposition leader, the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker has not been recalled.
Cabinet of Ministers has decided to terminate the service of the officers and consultants appointed on a contract basis for the Office for the Affairs of Sri Lankans in Abroad, National People's Council and Agriculture Modernisation Programme. The relevant proposal has been tabled by President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. Steps were taken to establish these agencies based on a previous cabinet decision. The President has pointed out that the anticipated functions expected from those officers and programs can be implemented from the relevant ministries. Accordingly, steps have been taken to terminate the service of the relevant officers and consultants appointed on contract basis with effect from September 30th. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by the President to dismiss the service of J.M. Gunasiri, who is presently serving as the Commissioner General of Excise on a contract basis with immediate effect. Steps have been taken to appoint U.D.N. Jaivira, who is presently serving as an additional Secretary of the President's Secretariat, as the Commissioner General of Excise of the Department of Sri Lanka Excise with immediate effect. Taking into consideration the matters submitted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs relevant to the 57th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council, the consent of the Cabinet of Ministers has been obtained to present the position of Sri Lanka. Accordingly, Sri Lanka has strongly rejected the proposed drafted solution at the present session of the United Nations Human Rights Council, and Sri Lanka continues to oppose the 5111 resolution of the drafted resolution of the United Nations Human Rights Council and has not agreed to any resolution that extends the power of the collection of external evidence mechanism. Even though the relevant proposal has been denied, Sri Lanka is firmly believed to take action in respect of main human rights issues, including the reconciliation through local procedure. Furthermore, Sri Lanka will continue to engage in the cooperative and meaningful discussions with the Human Rights Council and regular human rights mechanism. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by Minister Vijitha Herat to appoint a special committee to submit a report to the Cabinet of Ministers with the observations and recommendations studying the current requirements and technology for ensuring the implementation of digital terrestrial television broadcasting project in such way more benefits are gained to the Sri Lankan community.
Now, US President Joe Biden has extended his congratulations to newly elected President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. A message delivered on behalf of the American people, the US President has recognized the importance of a peaceful and democratic nature of the election, which reaffirmed the strength of Sri Lanka's democratic institutions. The US President has emphasized the shared values between the two nations, particularly in advancing stability, prosperity and inclusivity for all Sri Lankan citizens. President Biden expressed optimism about strengthening bilateral ties under President Disanayake's leadership, highlighting cooperation in several key areas. The US President, in his congratulatory message, has further indicated that the United States share the vision of the President for a more equitable Sri Lanka that is stable, prosperous and inclusive of all its citizens. President Biden has expressed his commitment to working with President Dissanayake to further enhance cooperation between the two nations, particularly in promoting inclusive economic growth, regional security and democratic governance.
Issuing a notice, the Election Commission said the deadline to submit postal voting applications has been extended until midnight on Thursday, 10th October 2024. Commissioner General of Elections Saman Sri Ratnayake says the extension has been granted due to a delay caused by the Postal Department and various requests made from the Election Commission in this regard. It has been mentioned in a notification issued by the Election Commission that during the final date of submitting postal vote applications, that is before midnight of the 10th of this month, the application should reach the concerned district election office. In order to avoid any delay, it is proper that duly completed applications have to be placed in different envelopes in accordance with the concerned districts and has to be handed over by hand to the district election office today or tomorrow, where the certifying officer's office is situated in the district. The notification further states that the deadline will not be extended further for any reason. Chairman of the Election Commission, R.M.A. Ratnayaka, said that submitting of nominations for the general election is due to end at 12 noon on the 11th of this month. He added that filing of objections will be done the same day from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. and holding of any rallies, meetings after the final day of filing of nominations and objections will be completely prohibited. He further said that special arrangements have been made by the police for conducting elections and printing of ballot papers will be started after the 11th of this month by the government printing press. He said that police have come forward to provide necessary security to the government press for this purpose.
Now, a motion has been filed before the Supreme Court seeking a restraining order to prevent him along with a group of officials, including Mr. Gunasiri, from leaving the country. Excise Commissioner General M.J. Gunasiri and a group of officials are currently facing contempt of court charges. The motion submitted by a resident, Gihan Shabendra Fernando of Nitambua, is linked to a petition alleging that the respondents, including the Commissioner General of Excise M.J. Gunasiri, Additional Director A.M.P. Arampat and Deputy Commissioners of Excise K. Dharmasilan and C.J.A. Virakodi, violated a Supreme Court interim order by issuing new liquor licenses in contravention of the law. The motion further points out that the above incident causes a contempt of court by Commissioner General of Excise and other respondents. It further requests to file a court case against them and punish them accordingly.
A special ceremony commemorating the Mental Health Day was held at the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute today. It was held with the participation of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. The theme for this year's World Mental Health Day is Mental Health at Work. During the ceremony, emphasis was given on the importance of the correlation between mental health and workplace. Even the most healthiest workers suffer from physical and mental stresses within a negative work environment. The Prime Minister addressing the event said the attention of the government has been directed to initiate a mental health service specifically for children and youth. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that children in schools face many issues within the current education system and the competition in the sectors related to education. She pointed out the importance for a proper plan in this regard. She also emphasized the importance in safeguarding the mental health of children within the family, the community and society. She said that many issues have been reported in this regard each day from the society. She added that suicidal attempts and self-harm have become popular within the society. She said that often parents and teachers are being blamed over such oversights, but pointed out the importance in looking at this issue in a broader way. She said that attention should be directed to the system which stresses the children. She also said that attention has been directed to initiate mental health service specifically for children and youth.
Now, the United States has committed to providing essential support to strengthen Sri Lanka's economy. U.S. Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chung, made these remarks in a meeting held today with Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumanayaka, at the Presidential Secretariat. Ambassador Chung conveyed congratulations from U.S. President Joe Biden to President Anura Kumara Dissanayake at the meeting. She noted that the International Monetary Fund and the United States Agency for International Development are prepared to offer financial support to help enhance the economic prospects of Sri Lanka. The U.S. ambassador has also expressed the commitment of the United States in assisting efforts for good governance and ensuring the security of Sri Lanka whenever needed.
Despite the fuel price decline, school transport services are yet to reduce the charges to transport children to schools. Now let's look into a feature story in this regard. After fuel prices were drastically increased at the end of 2022, the charges of school transport services increased by a higher percentage comparatively. With this move, many parents decided to remove their children from such services as they were unable to cope up with the high cost of living. However, school transport service drivers have informed parents that the charges will be reduced when the fuel prices decline. However, the charges remain the same after 2 years. The public pointed out that the prices are not reduced in the lower level despite benefits are given at top level. They alleged that these service providers often attempt to earn exorbitant profits through such measures. They pointed out that the importance is in regulating such services. However, the school transport service drivers bear a different view in this regard. School transport service drivers claim that even though many consider the fuel prices, no one talks about the repairs and other costs borne by them. They claim that the services were provided at a loss so far. They further said that the charges were not increased exorbitantly in comparison to the fuel prices after considering the public. School Transport Service Drivers Association has also raised the difficulties in reducing the rates. The associations have claimed that the charges can be reduced if the fuel prices are reduced up to 250 rupees. They further said that the charges can also be reduced if the other costs such as repairs and spare parts can be reduced. They claim that the spare part rates were increased by 300% but yet to be reduced. The state agencies not only have a responsibility to look into such services which increase prices of goods and services in an arbitrary manner with the fuel price increase, but also should implement proper mechanisms to regulate these services.
Now, a special ceremony was held today to commemorate the 57th anniversary of Cuban revolutionist Ernest Che Guevara. The event was held in Yahalakalewa, the area in Morogahena, with the participation of Cuban ambassador in Sri Lanka, Andres Marcelo Gonzalez Garrido. Floral tributes were placed at the monument near the mahogany tree in Yahalakalewa, claimed to be planted by Ernest Che Guevara during his visit to Sri Lanka in 1959 as a Cuban minister over research pertaining to rubber. The commemoration program was organized by Socialist Youth Association. General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna Tilvin Silva and National Organizer of the Youth Association Erang Gunasekara were present at this occasion.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, Sajith Premadasa, says that the vision and the program to develop the country is with his party. He expressed these views at a meeting with party activists held in Kasbaba area today. Leader of the SJB, former opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, said that the team capable of building a strong country with a vision and a program in that respect is the Samagi Jana Balawegaya. He said that in order to take the country out of the economic crisis, the economy of the country has to be developed. He pointed out that only 4 years is left to start the processing of paying back the loans and added that a break will be available in the coming years in paying loans, and it has been in accordance with the IMF agreement. He further said that according to the understanding reached with IMF, the same break period would end in 2028. He pointed out that sufficient exchange reserves has to be in the country by then and to pay the annual loans. He further pointed out only program to be followed is the economic development program. He said in conclusion that the creation of employment opportunities and strengthening the process of direct investments to the country, the program of export-oriented production industries and a digital economy that promotes industrial export promotion has to be included in this process.
Now, a few news items in brief. Preparations have been made to conduct the Presidential Media Award ceremony with the intervention and intention to establish an outstanding mass media culture in the country. Accordingly, a discussion over the award ceremony was held in Colombo today. 54 awards are expected to be extended for newspapers, radio, television, websites, media research and school media categories at the ceremony. More details in this regard can be obtained from the Development Unit of the Ministry of Mass Media. Sri Lankan students were able to claim many victories at the International Olympiad tournament held in China. 13 out of the 20 students were able to win medals at the tournament. 1 silver medal and 10 bronze medals were won in the math stream, while 2 bronze medals were won in the science stream. Colombo Magistrates Court ordered to take up the case filed against Shashi Veeravansha, who has been charged for illegally keeping a diplomatic passport, for hearing on January 28th. Previously, when the case was taken up for hearing, the attorneys representing the defendant raised preliminary objections indicating that the case cannot be continued. Colombo Magistrates Court ordered today to remand 3 suspects, including Deputy Commissioner at the Department of Motor Traffic Narayanpeta office, who have been charged for soliciting a bribe of 200,000 rupees until 11th of this month. Reports have indicated that the alleged bribe has been taken for handing over the ownership of 3 buses to its owner. An attorney who was found guilty on 2 charges, including the preparation of land use permit fraudulently, has been sentenced an 8-year imprisonment today. The relevant order was issued by Colombo Chief High Court Judge Aditya Patabandige. Apart from the imprisonment, a penalty of 20,000 rupees has also been imposed against the defendant. A fire has erupted in a storage unit in the 3rd floor of a storage building in the Maliban Street, Colombo Fort this afternoon. Immediate measures were taken to douse the fire. However, reason for the fire is yet to be unravelled.
The Met Department says the intertropical convergence zone to further affect the weather condition in the country. Accordingly, showers or thunder showers will occur in many parts in the country. The Met Department has indicated that showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Meanwhile, showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere at several places in the island during the afternoon or night. The Met Department has also said that heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern, Uwa and eastern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. The sea areas off the coast extending from Kankasanture to Hambantota via Mana, Colombo and Galle can be fairly rough at times. The Met Department has informed that temporarily strong, gusty winds and very rough seas can be expected during thunder showers. The Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy sail training warship Po Lang arrived at the port of Colombo on a formal visit this morning. The visiting ship was welcomed by the Sri Lankan Navy in compliance with Navy traditions. The training vessel has a crew of 130 personnel, including 35 office cadets. The commanding officer of the ship, Commander Ma Vengyong, called on Commander Western Naval Area Rear Admiral Chintaka Kumarasinghe at the Western Naval Command Headquarters to strengthen the camaraderie between the 2 navies. Crew members of the ship are set to participate in a series of programs organized by the Sri Lankan Navy. Crew members of the ship will also explore some of the tourist attractions of the country during their stay in Colombo. Sri Lankan Navy personnel will have the opportunity to participate in briefings on the operational functions of the ship as well. Po Lang will depart the island on the 11th of October after the formal visit.
And the completion of necessary programs is essential for the development of a country, and a lot of unexpected problems may arise in case if not followed. This revelation is about a development activity thus delayed. Completion of necessary programs is essential for the development of a country. It can be seen here that the construction is being done of alternative road in place of road that has come under water adjoining the Yano reservoir. The facilities and the residents around the front space is also known as Wahalkada to reach areas such as Kabitikollava and Horopatan in a short distance. The construction of this road has been started at the request of the residents of the area, which comes as the result of a long-standing request of the people of that area. Accordingly, this road has been included in the Yano project. Anyway, the road is being constructed after many years of completion of the Yano project. More than 60% of the road project has been completed so far, started under the Department of Irrigation. In case the construction is not expedited, the solution to a long-standing problem of the people will be avoided and a large sum of money spent so far will become a waste. Anyway, the implementation of a project that should have been completed several years back will pave the way for a host of problems. It has to be reminded that the road being constructed during the time of carrying out the main project, the entire project could have been completed at a low cost and the effect on environment could have been minimized. Starting off a development activity in 2024 based upon an environmental feasibility report project in 2012 cannot be termed as practical. This has become a main problem concerning the road project being carried out currently. The main aim of this project is the supply of water to the Trincomalee area. Yano environment system is facing a problematic situation due to the road project started a few months back. During the recording of this incident, the movement of a vehicle involved in the construction of the road was hampered due to the presence of wild elephants in the area. The residents of the area mostly use motorbicycles for traveling, and it becomes inevitable them facing dangers to their lives while crossing the road. In case of the construction of the electric fence to prevent the dangers posed by the wild elephants, the surfacing of elephant-human confrontation around Capital Lab will become another problem. Steps should be taken to take care of that presence of the wild elephants that is not hampered after the opening of the new road in the future.
Siriparakumba Vidyalaya of Udakaraveta Kakulagama in the Nivitikala Education Division has been closed since the 19th of June this year. This school, conducting classes from grade 1 to grade 5, is around 75 years old. It has been reported that 27 students were studying in the school with all facilities at the time of the closure. According to the residents, not the shortage of students but shortcomings in administration is the reason for the close down of this school. Children of employees of mines and tea estates of Kakulagama area are facing inconvenience due to the closure of the school. It has also been reported that those children are compelled to travel a distance of about 6 kilometers to reach to other schools. The residents request to reopen the school as soon as possible. Let's look at local news. Stay with us. Foreign news is coming up next.
Welcome back. In your foreign news, Ukraine's military has carried out a strike on a large oil terminal off the coast of the occupied Crimean Peninsula.
The authorities stated that this is the latest in a wave of attacks targeting Russian-controlled energy facilities. The officials of Kyiv said that the country's missile forces launched the strike of Feodosia terminal, the largest oil processing facility of peninsula, in an attack overnight. Russian-installed officials in Crimea have not confirmed the strike but did acknowledge a fire at the facility. No casualties from the blast have been reported. A municipal-level emergency has been declared, with 300 people being evacuated from Feodosia due to the blaze. Meanwhile, the Defense Ministry in Moscow said that 12 Ukrainian drones were shot down over the peninsula overnight out of a total of 21 launched by Kyiv.
Now, the Nobel Prize in Physics 2024 was awarded to John J. Hopfield and Geoffrey E. Hinton for foundational discoveries and inventions that enable machine learning with artificial neural networks. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences stated today that John Hopfield and Geoffrey Hinton have won the Nobel Prize in Physics 2024 for their pioneering work in the field of machine learning. John J. Hopfield created a structure that can store and reconstruct information. Geoffrey E. Hinton invented a method that can independently discover properties in data and which has become important for the large neural networks now in use. The Nobel Prize in Physiology for Medicine 2024 has been awarded yesterday to United States scientists Victor Ambrose and Gary Ruvkin. Discovered micronra, a new class of tiny RNA molecules that play a crucial role in gene regulation. Their groundbreaking discovery in the small worm C. elegans revealed a completely new principle of gene regulation. This turned out to be essential for multicellular organisms, including humans. Microns are proving to be fundamentally important for how organisms develop and function.
On your sports news tonight, in the Women's 2020 World Cup Cricket Tournament, a crucial match for Sri Lanka against India will be held tomorrow.
Now, the two teams are facing each other after the finals of the Women's 2020 Asia Cup Tournament. The match commences at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. So far, 25 T20 matches have been played between India and Sri Lanka, where 19 matches have been won by India and Sri Lanka were victorious in 5 matches. Captain of Sri Lanka women's cricket team Chamari Atapattu detailed the media about the preparation of the Sri Lankan team. Captain of the Sri Lanka women's cricket team Chamari Atapattu said that the main responsibility as the captain and the opening batsman to give the momentum required to the government is with her, which she failed to deliver in previous 2 matches. She added that a large crowd is awaiting for her to come into her best form in batting, and she likes the challenge and pressure. She further said that she will be able to do something special to the team and the country tomorrow. And that was a look at your news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan, together with Sharon. Wish you a pleasant evening.